Nearly 8 decades after she was discovered on her way to a ballet class, Carmen Dell'Orefice has continued to walk the runway with such graciousness and timeless elegance that defies logic. Her achievements prove that age is just a number and not a determinant of what one can achieve in life. But how has she managed to stay on top of her game for this long? And what exactly is her secret for health, intimacy, and longevity? Let's find out. Born on the 3rd of June 1931, Carmen Dell'Orefice is the longest working model in history and the oldest working model today. While most of her peers are housed in retirement homes, Carmen is fiercely owning the runway like a young model in her prime, leaving us all wondering if there's a secret fountain of youth hidden backstage. More impressively, she's gracing the front page of top fashion magazines like Vogue Czechoslovakia. Carmen's modeling career started some 79 years ago when a passerby spotted her on a crosstown bus on New York's 57th Street. She was only 13 at the time, but her silver hair, graceful limbs, and spotless skin made her an instant sight to behold, captivating the attention of all who laid eyes upon her. And it was only a matter of time before this stunning supermodel caught the eyes of the world. At the tender age of 15, Carmen landed her Vogue feature, becoming the youngest model to appear on the magazine cover. And from then on, the floodgates of fame swung wide open. Her fame spread across the globe like wildfire. Every top fashion magazine eagerly sought to feature Carmen's beautiful visage. And as a result, she got to work with some of the greatest photographers of the 20th century, sharing her essence with legendary shutterbugs like Irving Penn and Richard Avedon. But how did she get here, and what's the secret to her longevity? Let's hear from the ageless queen herself. Looking at Carmen's career retrospectively, one would think she walked her path to the top with effortless finesse and zero troubles, but that's not the case. On the contrary, this charming damsel faced challenges that could easily have thrown any mere mortal off their glamorous stride. She had 3 failed marriages, and if that wasn't enough, she made 2 bad investments that left her in a bad place financially. But she remained resilient, using these challenges as a source of motivation to achieve bigger things. Staring at her majestic beauty from a distance, it's clear that Carmen doesn't look anywhere close to her age. And while she's had several injections and surgeries to strengthen her bone structure and reduce the effects of wrinkles and sun damage, Carmen is totally dedicated to her daily skin routine. This involves using a lot of moisturizers and sunscreen. A significant study at Harvard Medical School reveals that people who use Spectrum sunscreen daily are liable to have 24% less skin aging. Most people don't know this, and perhaps that's why sunscreens are underrated. Expectedly, Carmen also has a makeup routine, but she doesn't overdo it and only applies it when attending photo shoots and big events. According to dermatologists, having a makeup routine doesn't necessarily hasten the skin aging process, but cosmetics are known to contain several elements that can cause long-term damage to the skin around the face. Standing at a remarkable height of 5 feet and 11 inches, Carmen Dell'Orefice is a sight to behold. And even after years of dominating the runway, she's managed to retain her youthful, stunning physique, which in some way is a testament to her good diet routine. This elegant goddess doesn't exactly have a strict diet routine or calorie target. Rather, she eats whatever she likes eating, but strictly on a moderate level. Also, she tends to cook what she eats, meaning the food quality is most likely better than the junk food that most people consume. This one might surprise a bit, but Carmen actually loves ice cream. She stocks her fridge with enough ice cream so that she never runs out of supply when she needs to satisfy her cravings. But that's not to suggest that she has unhealthy cravings for ice cream or any other food at all. Over the years, Carmen has cultivated the habit of drinking plenty of healthy liquids. This includes lemon juice, probiotic juice, and most importantly, water. As standard, the timeless and ageless model always keeps water around whenever she works out. Now that we've mentioned it, this might be a good time to delve into her exercise routine. Understandably, this Carmen doesn't exercise as hard as some of her younger colleagues. But clearly, the little that she does is enough to sustain her stature and beauty even at the age of 91. Carmen starts her morning with a 30-minute walk in the company of close friends. Scientific studies have shown that walking helps to improve endurance, muscle power, and all-around cardiovascular fitness. But is walking the only secret to her fitness and stunning beauty? Absolutely not. This timeless damsel dedicates ample time to other exercise routines as well. She does a little bit of stretching and breathing here and there to find out what works and what doesn't work for her body. After this, she rolls her waist in different directions to have a feel of how her hips are holding up. She also does a bit of bending leg work. When she's not walking the streets with her friends or exercising her legs, you can find her riding the indoor bicycle. All of this is done with a playlist of jazz music playing in the background. In addition, she consumes water at intervals and observes her body for any slight changes. If she notices anything different, she immediately adjusts her training routine as required. And you can understand why, because as much as she needs to stay fit, she must also avoid injuries that will stop her from walking the runway. Carmen understands the importance of breathing exercises, and she incorporates it into her daily workout routine as much as possible. It helps to settle her thoughts and build a healthy connection between her mind and her body, which is incredibly helpful in the fast-paced world that we live in today. Despite being one of the most talented models to ever grace the runway, Carmen Dell'Orefice realizes that talent isn't enough. So she takes her time to prepare and do necessary research before starting a new project, and that's one of the reasons she has been able to stay on top of her game for this long. When she isn't walking the runway or granting interviews, Carmen likes to relax and enjoy some downtime doing the things she loves. According to reports, sewing is one of Carmen's biggest hobbies. As a kid, she learned the basics of sewing from her seamstress mother, and the pair often made clothes as a side hustle. Nowadays, Carmen is well-to-do financially and doesn't really need a side hustle to survive. But she still sews for fun in her free time. Aside from sewing, this stunning beauty queen also loves photography. This isn't surprising considering that she is always in front of the camera for most of her time. However, she's specifically fascinated by photos of Mother Nature. By Carmen's own admission, exploring the stunning view of the environment around gives her a sense of fulfillment beyond her successful career. More importantly, it helps her unwind and relieve the stress from her tedious work schedule. When it comes to love and intimacy, Carmen Dell'Orefice has an interesting perspective that most people within her age range might not agree with. She admits that both elements have been part and parcel of her life for a long time, and she's not willing to let go even at the age of 91. This was part of my life early on. I would not give that up, as I wouldn't give up breathing. And just in case there were any doubts, the timeless supermodel confirmed this in another interview. In her books, intimacy is like owning a supercar. You've got to constantly maintain it so that it's always in a good shape when you need to hit the road. She strongly believes that the idea of people retiring from intimacy is flawed. Carmen believes intimacy adds value to relationships, and as long as people are alive and breathing, they should be allowed to engage in intimate relationships if they want to. Also, the timeless model is a strong advocate for love and healthy relationships. I love my relationship, and I don't have a set idea of what they should be. She recently said in an interview, the American supermodel believes that people should be allowed to explore their curiosities to the fullest when it comes to love, because in the end, humans can never get enough of it. Carmen Dell'Orefice has had a stellar modeling career, and she's definitely not showing any signs of slowing down, at least for now. On the contrary, she wants to continue enjoying life and doing her job to the best of her ability for as long as she can. It is this type of mentality that has brought her this far, and it's only fair that she's sticking to it even in her old age. But of course, not everyone will defy nature or become a world superstar like Carmen Dell'Orefice. However, there's no doubt that most of her advice and recommendations could work magic for anyone in any industry. With the right implementation and discipline, even you can achieve success and longevity in your chosen career path, just like this beauty goddess has done. But don't forget, it all starts with a strong commitment to stay true to the course, even in the face of challenges, until your goals are achieved.